Hey everyone, SpiritBuddy here. Today I have the pleasure with speaking with Seyed. How you doing today, Seyed?
Hi, Spirits. Very good to be with you today. I'm
Awesome.
doing very good, and it's an honor to be in your presence during
It,
this interview.
it is such a pleasure to have you here. I can't wait to hear what you have to say.
Pleasure is mine.
Seyed is currently working on a game called Operation Outsmart. Operation Outsmart is an open world sandbox RPG where exploring is the fundamental to the core gameplay. Your job is to take back the land and stop the koalas living in fear. So, Sayed, what inspired you to make a game like this?
Oh man, that's a very long story. Very, very long. We didn't actually had such an idea to make this game. Basically, we started as a technology company. We were doing some uh, machine learning stuff first, and I had some trouble for finding a market for it.
Okay.
Uh, and after many days of just, reflecting on it
Hmm.
and doing research, I thought that this might actually have like a market for young people,
Okay.
in the context of a video game. And then we just sat with the team. And at the beginning, the team was just like programmers. We didn't have any artists or game designers. And we kind of felt like, hell yeah, let's do a game. Uh,
Okay.
and we were not sure like what we wanted to make. We thought, okay, maybe something to do with physics, chemistry, where we could put that machine learning algorithm at the back of the chemistry engine to predict material properties. Now I can go into that later. It's a bit technical, but
Okay.
uh, we were thinking of something to do with physics and chemistry, basically.
Okay.
And it kind of got serious. We thought, okay, let's start building these sandbox tools,
Hmm.
uh, building the systems. And once we started with that, we thought, okay, this is like getting serious. I think we need to uh, bring in a game designer and an artist. And the first person who I found was Lily. Uh, Lily was a recent graduate. She did games design,
Okay.
fantastic artist, very ambitious, and she joined the team and carried the entire game design and art of the game.
Oh wow.
And yeah, and at the beginning we were also not sure like how the game would be. She was doing a lot of iterations, a lot of ideations, and kind of by April, uh, we kind of settled on the idea of a open world game, uh, where you have the sandbox mode in it, where you build stuff and you go on missions to do things. And the Koalas also made made to be an integral part of the game. So it kind of took shape over several months. It wasn't really a solid idea at the beginning. The initial team, it was myself, my brother Mahdi, who's still in the team, Ahmad, who was the machine learning engineer, and a friend of Mahdi, his name was Tayyib, who was working on the physics side of things.
Very nice.
Um, so Ahmad and Mahdi are still with us, and uh, Ahmad is still working on the machine learning models, and Mahdi is doing the game programming.
Very, very
Uh,
nice.
but everything to do with art and game design, it was Lily who was doing most of it. And this summer we brought JC, who's also doing like the 2D arts, the UI, and other things. So the team has grown a little bit compared to what we started with.
Very, very, very nice. And hopefully it continues to grow in the coming months and years.
Yeah,
And
hopefully. Thank you.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see what you do in the future for sure. So there was an announcement on the official Operation Outsmart YouTube channel. The team made it to the finals of the UK game of the show. How
Yes.
do you feel about that?
Oh, this is okay. So this is like the first time we're getting some achievements, like an official one. Uh, it felt really good. This was like, it felt good not because we got to the finals of something, but because it was the first confirmation that we're doing something that people have noticed. Uh,
Awesome.
and I think that was the biggest achievement. And kind of boosted our confidence that, because before this we were like not quite sure whether we were making a game that people would like. But given that we're a small team and the game is not that big, and so the UK Game of the Show competition is open to all unreleased games in the UK. And if you look at some of the finalists, some of them are very big games. Like there's this game by Bosa Studios and Digital Care called I Am Fish. It's a very big game.
I've actually heard of that game, yeah.
Yeah. And they're in the finals, So us being next to them really made us think that, it made us think that, okay, we're competing with those guys, Surely we're not gonna win.
No, don't say that. I mean,
yeah, okay. I mean,
best of luck to everyone, of course. But
yeah. Just getting to the finals was a huge thing for us.
I think that's a trophy in itself.
Exactly.
To make it to the finals, like, congratulations. Honestly, I'm super proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all the team's effort, to be honest.
Like, how did the team feel about this?
Oh, so happy. Everyone was so happy.
Very nice.
It was really good. It was really good.
Are there any other ways that you are showcasing your game through social media?
Yeah, we're kind of present on all social media platforms. I mean, most of them. The most active one is Twitter. We're like posting about like at least 3 to 4 tweets every day. We also post not too often, but we also post on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay.
Ying has started experimenting with TikTok. I think she's put like 7 or 8 videos so far. None of them have gone viral as some of the videos do, but the numbers are increasing. So we also have like weekly game nights that we stream on Twitch. So we've done it a couple of times. Initially we did it on Fridays. Now we're doing it on Wednesdays because Wednesdays works better for everyone.
Okay.
And yeah, we also did some tutorials and we uploaded on YouTube. So like we're just trying all the platforms and see what really works.
Okay, yeah.
But to be honest, marketing is a beast.
Yeah.
It's so hard. It's
very mysterious. Like
yeah.
You could make one video like where you put all your efforts into it, explaining the game, showcasing everything about the game, and it just doesn't do as popular. And then you could do like a funny meme type video of your game, 30 seconds long, let's say, and then it gets like 100,000 views. Like I know. It's hard to explain.
It's very unexpected.
Very unexpected,
yeah. Yeah, like a video we made, which wasn't even like too special. We posted it under Unreal Engine's Screenshot Saturday thread, and it got retweeted by Unreal Engine.
Oh, nice!
Which was really amazing. It was so unexpected because
that's huge.
It was huge. It was like we never got a video that was liked and viewed so many times, and it was just because it was noticed by Unreal Engine.
When I checked out the trailer for Operation Outsmart, the aesthetics reminded me of the game Human Fall Flat. Has anyone ever compared your game to something else?
Yes. So Human Fall Flats is a very close one in terms of that, like there's the physics puzzles I have to solve. A very common answer we get is, I don't know how to say the name properly. Banjo Kazooie.
Banjo Kazooie, I love that game.
Yes, that one. We get that a lot because like you can build something, hop on it, drive it around, get off, walk around, do stuff, and there are those like koala characters in the world that you interact with them. So in many ways it's similar to that. We also get the comment that it's similar to Besiege. Now Besiege is very physics-based sandbox game. The same way that they use constraints to attach particles to attach the parts together, and we're kind of using a similar technique to them. So in some sense, the game is also very similar to Besiege.
When you mentioned Banjo Kazooie, I had a game in mind that I could probably tell you right off the bat is kind of similar to your game, Operation Outsmart. In the
Yeah.
series, there's a game called Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, and
Sorry, I meant this one. Yes.
that's the one you
Banjo
were talking
Kazooie.
about.
Yes, this is the one. Sorry,
Yeah, because
I forgot to. Yeah,
there's
yeah.
there's a part in
This
the
is the one I
game.
was talking about.
Yeah, there's a part in the game where you build your own cars.
Exactly. Yeah, I meant nuts and bolts, not the original Banjo Kazooie.
Um,
It's very similar to nuts and bolts.
yeah, that's a really, I mean, that's a really good gameplay mechanic
Mm,
to have in your game for sure. I've
yeah,
never played Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. So I'm actually dying to play that game. So,
I haven't played it either. I didn't even know about this until people told me.
what games have been heavily influential to you?
I used to play, so I played Age of Empires 1, like the first one, and back then I was like 6 years old. And I played all the series. So Age of Empires 2, Age of Mythology, then Age of Empires 3. And what comes across in Age of Empires, so it's a real-time strategy. So you build an economy, you have like these villagers, they gather resources, you build an empire, then you build military, you attack other empires, and you win by conquering them.
Okay.
What's really interesting about the game is it teaches you a balance of economy and military and short-term and long-term goals. So if you sacrifice everything for short-term gain, but you do not tip over, then you're doomed, because you didn't really build the infrastructure for long-term growth. But if you try to put everything to grow in the long term and you're attacked in a shorter span of time, then you're also doomed. So it kind of teaches you that life is about balancing.
Very
It's
nice.
not short-term goals are not enough and long-term goals are not enough. They go hand in hand. And I think this is one of the things that has really shaped my way of thinking about life.
Age of Empires have taught you that. That's very
Yeah.
insightful. I do believe in what you're saying, like the fact that there needs to be balance. I've never played Age of Empires, but like hearing you say that makes me want to check out the game now for sure. Like,
Yeah,
very cool, very
it's a
cool,
fantastic game. It's a fantastic game.
very nice. Name one thing about game development that you dread the most.
Marketing for sure. Yeah,
Marketing is never easy.
it's not. It's not. It gives me a lot of anxiety
Like, what
because
exactly about marketing is that's something that stresses you out?
uh it's just like how to do it. Like how, because you're competing with 10,000 other games
Yeah.
and there's this noise in social media that everyone's just shouting and you're in the middle of that crowd also shouting, but no one really hears you because everyone's shouting at the same time. Indie games are about being different,
Yeah.
like most of indie games are different, but it still doesn't matter because you're just still competing with everyone else.
Yeah. It is
Uh,
tough. It
yeah,
definitely is
I think
tough.
marketing needs like a knack of just being present all the time, being out there. Uh, I think some people really have the talent. I'm trying very hard. I don't think I have a special talent, but I just feel like I need to grow the skills, and I'm just learning. Uh, we're just trying different things. We're trying our best.
You
Yeah.
could definitely say that, like, you're definitely one step of the curve above someone that's not taking the measures to even do what they want to do. So
Mm,
you're putting your
yeah.
goals in action.
Yeah.
How many people
I
could say
mean,
that,
yeah, I
right?
agree. So I've been looking at how Besiege has done some of their marketing. Now, Besiege doesn't have a very big uh, Twitter follower count, I believe. I think they have like 2,000. But their Discord server is like 17,000 people,
Wow, that's a
and
lot.
it is a lot. And from what I remember, they were not very active in like marketing. But what happened is you can go on YouTube and see some people who have made some wacky things in Besiege, and those videos are getting like 8 million views. I don't think Besiege team went after those people. Uh, the game is just in such a way that you want to just be creative, just do crazy stuff in it and show it off to other people. So I think the game is designed in such a way to be spontaneously uh go viral in some sense.
Like it's good for content. Like
Yeah,
it, yeah.
exactly. Just
Um,
like Minecraft, like
yeah.
people build things and they want to show it off. And you kind of get that marketing from the crowd. So this is where I'm thinking to go, you know.
I think
I
you
don't
should do
have to be
that.
the yeah, I think there is this potential to just let the community do things and spread the word.
Like
Uh
yeah, if you make your game um accessible to
mm,
players to the point where they could just do a good amount of
yeah,
content with it.
exactly.
Whether it's like level creation
Yeah,
or making
yeah,
funny videos or maybe like a Twitch integration thing that people can interact with the game as
definitely.
well.
Definitely. Yeah.
That will definitely boost the game.
Yeah,
It definitely will boost
exactly.
the game sales wise and have more people be
Mhm.
interested as well.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
How do you organize and plan your work for the game?
Ooh. Okay, so initially we tried Hack and Plan as like as a sprint board to put down all the tasks and just follow the things we did. But
Hmm.
it didn't really work. Like we couldn't really stick to following the board. The way we're doing it now is on Discord, on our team Discord server. Uh, like we just come up with the list of things that need to be done and we assign them to people.
Okay.
And we usually have like regular meetings. We meet on Discord, we discuss things. Uh, the ones that are done, we cross them, and we add new tasks that need to be done. And this cycle just keeps repeating. Uh, the team is very dynamic and agile. Like if there's anything like something urgent needs to be done, you drop a message, the guy jumps on the voice channel, you discuss it, you get it done. Now the good thing is almost the entire team is based in the UK, which means we all have the same time zone. So the team is like almost all the team is available somewhere from like 10 a.m. to 5, 6 p.m. Uh,
Okay.
so communication is very easy. And yeah, this is how it goes. I would say because we've had a lot of like tight deadlines, we didn't really plan things long term. It was rather short term planning, a
Okay.
lot of it.
Okay. That actually leads me to my next question. What would you do if you disagreed with your team's vision?
So if I'm clearly the one who has a different vision to everyone else, I would conform to the majority because I don't think I have the best ideas. Like there isn't anything that makes me different to the rest of the team. I'm just one person,
Hmm.
you know. In fact, some of our team members have played a lot more games than I have. My brother has done, Lily has done, Tommy has done. They're gamers and they're pro gamers. They have a good sense of game design, they have a good sense of what makes a game entertaining and fun to play. Uh, so I'm actually not too arrogant with my vision.
You're very humble. I have to say that. Very, very nice
I'm
person.
not, but thank you. I'm just being honest.
It's a good perspective for sure.
Yeah.
Because you see that the other people in your team, like Tommy and Matthew, you see them like they're more knowledgeable in the gaming aspect of the company.
Yeah.
So you wanna value their opinions, of course. You don't wanna, even if you disagreed with something, you're willing to understand others as well in the
Yeah.
process, and you want to come to terms with a solution.
Yeah. There are times that I'm very confident in my opinion, and if that's the case, I try to uh
To reason.
I yeah. Like for example, we had this UI for the construction mode, and the buttons were square, but I thought it would be nicer if they're rounded. You know, like how iPhone icons are,
Hmm.
that the app icons, you know, they're
Okay.
not perfect squares. They're like they have rounded edges, and I thought rounded edges makes a lot of difference.
I
And
like the rounded shapes on the apps. Yeah.
yeah,
So I agree with
yeah,
that.
exactly. And initially it wasn't well received. Like people didn't think it would make a lot of difference, but Lily said she would try it and see how it is. And when
Hmm.
she did that, she said actually it looks better. So
Oh, very
if
nice.
if I'm very confident in my opinion, I'll try to push it at least at least to like try it and see how it is, you know.
Yeah, to test it, and
Yeah,
see how it goes. And if
yeah,
everyone agrees with it, stick with it. If people don't agree, maybe make some modifications and see what else can work.
yeah. But it doesn't happen too often that I'm very confident in something. I'm usually very open to
Yeah.
uh yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the other people in the team, like Lily, Tommy, Matthew, are also open as well to
Yeah,
criticism and
exactly.
to feedback and all that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Are you willing to work overtime to meet deadlines?
Me personally, yes. The team also yes, but I try not to ask them.
Okay.
Um, but it has happened that the team had stayed up very late, you know, just because we had to get something done. Uh, but I would try to avoid that as much as we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
How late is too late, if you mind me asking?
So, for example, we had for the UK game of the show, we had to submit the trailer video, and PB was up until 1 a.m.
Oh,
trying to
okay.
finish it. Uh, and I was awake as well. So it's happened, but not very often. I would say like maybe just I don't know, just a couple of days maybe. Uh, I would
Interesting.
say 95% of the time we work normal hours.
I thought you were gonna say like 5 in the morning, but like 1 a.m. That's not bad. I mean, no, I'm just kidding. Uh, but yeah, I totally see where you're getting at.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's ethical to be honest. It- I could justify it for 1 or 2 days because
Hmm.
we have a deadline,
Yeah.
but something to be happening over and over again, I think that's not fair.
Okay.
This is not we have agreed upon, you know.
Hmm.
Yes, if I hired someone and I told them, listen, you're gonna work 60 hours per week, that's the deal. Although I would say that's still unfair, but it's still that it's been agreed upon, you know.
Yeah, if they agree
But
to it.
with the
Yeah.
yeah, but with the team members that we have at the moment, it's normal hours. So it's not fair that I ask them to work long hours. So usually when they work longer hours, they kind of do it voluntarily, you know. Like I didn't push them, but they felt the urgency of doing it, and they did it out of, you know, that passion that they have for the game.
Yeah, I could definitely see what you're saying. You know what's interesting? I actually had one of the indie game developers that I interviewed answer this
Mm.
question, and they said that they would not want to work overtime because if they do, then like the next couple of days they're gonna be very exhausted, and
Oh yeah,
it's going to interfere with the game development.
yeah.
Um,
It's not sustainable.
yeah.
It's definitely not sustainable.
So they said they would rather just like do the normal hours and get some rest.
Mhm.
And even though they're going to be a little bit behind, it's better that they're rested up
Yeah,
and they're more focused, because like when someone's focused, they're able to achieve
exactly.
more for sure.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
What are your strengths and what are your weaknesses?
I always ask this question in the interviews, like job interviews. I ask the candidates this, and I was always happy that no one is going to ask me because I'm not going to be employed by someone else, you know. And now you just ask me this.
Now I'm the boss. No, I'm just kidding. I'm the employer.
Uh, I think I'm a good leader. I think I can lead the team well. I wouldn't say I'm the best, but I think I have the soft skills uh, to understand the people, you know, to have empathy with them, and just make sure that people are happy working with me
Okay.
and they want to stay because they're enjoying their time.
Hmm.
But to be honest, I've never asked my team this, so it's just something I think. I might be totally wrong, but I feel this. I feel this. Uh, uh,
Sorry to put you on the spot
okay.
here.
Yeah, I'm very bad at doing two things at the same time, and
Okay.
I have offended people with that. Like I'm doing something on my computer, and people are talking to me,
Hmm.
and I have no idea what they're saying. And I think this is disrespectful. So I'm kind of learning that I either have to listen or just do my work, you know,
Yeah.
and be clear that I'm doing my work. I cannot listen. Uh, yeah, I think that has been disrespectful a couple of times, and I'm kind of learning the lesson now.
I think that happens to the best of us. Like it's hard to multitask. You know, when
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
trying to focus on one thing and then something else happens. Like, yeah, most of the time life gets in the way and it's very
yeah,
complicated.
yeah,
It's good to know that you're wanting to learn how to be better at that. I mean, we all should
yeah.
as individuals. And sometimes I even go through that myself. So it's totally
Mm,
understandable for sure.
yeah. I think the best way, I mean, if you're very adamant on doing what you're doing, I think the best thing is to tell the person that if you could give me 5 minutes,
Yeah.
I can get back to you, you know, just to make sure that it's been communicated. Because otherwise, the other person speaking to you is expecting you to listen.
Yeah. If it makes you feel any better, I could tell you my strengths and weaknesses.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, that would definitely make me feel better.
my strengths is that I love editing videos and I love gaming.
Mm.
My weakness is that I think I'm a little bit too nice to people, and sometimes people take advantage of that. So
Oh, let's not go there.
yeah.
Yeah, I totally feel you.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you. I appreciate that. But
that's a whole another story.
yeah, it's really like I'm nice to people because I want to be nice, and I
Mm.
just felt like
Yeah,
you should never be rude to someone because you don't know what they're going through in life. But then some people just make it so damn hard to be nice to them.
I know. It
It's
kind
like
of becomes
yeah,
an expectation, you know? Like
yeah,
if you're too nice, then people expect you to be nice in every situation. And then they also expect you to be nice when they take advantage of you.
yeah, yeah,
It's
totally.
not that they do it intentionally, but
They expect it from you now.
yeah, it's just like a human thing, you know? Like you set your references based on how the other person acts.
Yeah. So, what keeps you going in life? Is there something or someone that motivates you?
I'm a very family person, I would say, and that does play a strong role in my life.
Okay.
So I would say one dimension is I want to make my father proud by
Wow.
being successful, uh, because he's done a lot for me, and also my mom, obviously. Uh, So I want to make them proud by just being successful in my life and show them that all the efforts you put to raise me, uh, here are the fruits.
Wow.
Uh, Another one would be my wife. So I'm married. I
Very
didn't tell you.
nice. Very nice.
Yeah, and I think she's also been a source of motivation for me all the time. She's very supportive, and I also want to return her kindness by also like being successful, you know. And
That's
the
so sweet.
last one would be uh so I'm going to be a dad soon,
Oh,
in a
wow.
few months. Yeah.
That's so nice.
So yeah, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I think that's like a third dimension to what keeps me going now, because I want to make him the best life that I can.
That is so heartwarming. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, like it got me a little emotional right now. But going back to what you said about your parents and making them proud and your wife and all that,
Yeah,
honestly, I think they already are proud of you. So
thank you.
I think
Thank you, man.
just keep going, do what you want to do, and work hard because you already have people there supporting you along the way. Um,
Yeah.
so with your newborn child, like, do you want like when they grow up eventually, do you want them to learn how to like do what you're doing, or do you want them to carve their own life in the future?
Yeah, the thing is my father never told me what to do in life. He was always supportive in whatever choice I made. So
Okay.
I think I want to do the same. Like if he wants to do science and technology stuff, amazing, you know, because that's where my passion is. But if he wants to do entirely different things, history, art, you know,
Hmm.
uh, I think that's I would still be proud of him, you know. Uh,
You're gonna be a good dad. I just know it. You're gonna be a great dad.
yeah,
Oh
I think
man.
I think I've got a lot of I've picked a lot of things from my dad, a lot of good things. So
Very
yeah, I
nice.
kind of look up to him.
Wow. You're gonna make me cry right now. I swear to God. uh, very, very nice. I really like that answer. Where do you see yourself in 5 years as a game developer?
5 years is a very long time to see anything,
It really
but
is. Yeah.
yeah, but ideally, I would like to see myself as a very well-established studio making very impactful games. Uh, Probably in 5 years' time, we would be working on the second title or the third title, and hopefully we have an amazing team of talents, you know. Uh, yeah, I think that's what I'd like to see it.
They say not to judge a book by its cover. My question to you is, do you think players are quick to judge a game by its trailer?
Absolutely. All of us do.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we judge people by the first 2 minute impressions.
Okay.
We judge a game based on what we see in 2 minutes. Uh, it's just life, you know. You judge a candidate by looking at their CV.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I guess it's because we don't have the resources, we don't have the time to dig very deep into something, you know.
It's very true.
Uh,
Very, very
and I
true.
think our brains are developed to make that judgment very quickly. And I think it has its own historical reasons, you know, because we had to judge threatening situations and safe situations. And we didn't really have the time to do any calculations. You know, if something was threatening, if something was dangerous, we had to make a decision at the moment. And our brains are just trained to do that. You know, we judge people when we look at them. Uh, we judge whether a fruit is healthy or not just by looking at it, by smelling it,
Yeah,
I think we all, as humans, we are all quick to judge. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. We kind of have to just use it to our own advantage. So if you want your game to sell, just make it appealing to players in 2 minutes.
because like time is very valuable.
Yeah,
While the person's looking at your trailer, they could have looked at like 5 other trailers by that time.
exactly. Exactly.
So I think what's really a selling point in video game trailers is the pitch, the idea of the game, and if there's like a strong beginning of the trailer, then the person will be hooked, right away.
Yes.
But there's also other factors as well, like art style, gameplay, and everything in the combination of the trailer.
Yeah.
So, but you're absolutely right. Like the beginning, like just the beginning of the trailer and the amount of time that a person's consuming the idea of the game.
Yeah.
You got to make a quick impression, basically.
People open a game, they click on the trailer, and if there isn't a gameplay at the beginning, they keep skipping until they see a gameplay. And if they don't see a gameplay after 5 seconds, after 5 tries of just like going forward, they hit the next video. And I remember like some of them were going crazy because they couldn't find gameplay in it, and they just didn't like the game, because it was all cinematics and not gameplay. So
yeah,
people do want to watch gameplay in 30 seconds.
I
agree. The time they're gonna spend on a page.
I've done that myself. I've also So like, I don't mind cinematic trailers, but I just don't want it to start in the beginning. If you do start in the beginning, like transition it to some gameplay, like right around the minute point.
Yeah.
Because I need to see something. I need to know what this game's about, not just the story wise, but like gameplay wise. Like, because gameplay is the majority of the game.
Exactly.
What am I investing in? Like, what kind of game am I gonna be playing?
Yeah. The first thing people want to see is the gameplay. Then you can show them the cinematics and other things.
Yeah, I highly agree with that for sure. So, what are common things video game developers overlook?
Again, I think the same thing. Marketing. I see a lot of games, especially on Kickstarter. So, just letting you know that we are planning to go on Kickstarter, and I'm doing a lot of research on games. We're planning to run things on Kickstarter, and also have a very good friend. His name is Ian, and he's just crazy about Kickstarter games. He has a huge set of notes on how to run a Kickstarter campaign. It's like a 1,000-page guidebook. He has backed about 940 games on Kickstarter.
Oh my god.
He has incredible knowledge of video games and the entire Kickstarter.
Was Mighty Number 9 one of those games?
He's shown me a lot of games which are so good. They're just so good. If you wouldn't know, you think this is like made by a AAA company. But no one has backed them because no one knew about the game,
Yeah.
And they didn't get the initial momentum on Kickstarter, and they were just buried down. And that's very sad, Like, you have this amazing team of game developers who are making something incredible, but because the marketing wasn't good enough, no one knows about it.
Yeah, I mean, marketing is very tricky.
Yeah.
There's so many indie game developers that put their projects on Kickstarter, but it just doesn't get funded, and then they lose motivation, and that really is sad. But we don't want them to lose hope. It just maybe something went wrong with the marketing, or
And I'm sure a lot of them blame the game, not the marketing, and that's very sad because the game is good, but they didn't get the confirmation that the game is good, and they kind of associate the lack of funding to the fact that maybe the game wasn't good, but that's not really the case. It
Yeah,
was
and
really a
then
marketing thing.
they end up like changing like a lot of the game to be something else, and I don't know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I mean, if you're really confident in the game, you'll know right off the bat that people are gonna enjoy it as well. Um,
mm,
you just have to you have to stick by it, you know, sometimes.
yeah, yeah,
But I'm not opposed to people like changing some things here and there, you know, if they feel like they want to. But if they
mm,
want to change it based because of like it wasn't funded, you know, that's not. I don't know if it's a good reason why you should change a game,
yeah,
to be something else, or you know, change some designs of it. I don't think
yeah,
that should
yeah.
be one of the reasons why you should.
And also, critics have a louder voice than other people. And this is like one of the traps that many game developers fall into. Like you may have a Discord server with, I don't know, 1,000 people in it, and five of them are nagging a lot about a certain feature.
Mm-hmm.
But others are not complimenting on the feature. Because if something is good, it's good, you know. But if you hate something, you want to say it. So it makes the game developers to think that that feature is very bad and they have to change it because they think those five people who are complaining about it would be a good representative of the entire community. But most of the cases, that's not the case. If they run a poll, they
Yeah.
see that 95% of people like the feature. I think that's also another trap that a lot of game developers may fall into because critics have a much louder voice.
Yeah, I think polls are very
Very, very, they're
beneficial,
very good. They are, yeah.
for sure. There's certainly other ways on how to like gather information from players, you know, feedback,
Mm,
beta testing, all that. um, a lot of the feedback is coming from passion and like, you know, the joy of playing your game.
hmm
They want
Yeah,
you to do well, so even if it's harsh criticism, it's not because the game is not any good. They want
yeah,
the game to be 100% good, you know.
exactly, exactly.
Name me a few things that make players not want to buy a game.
This might be a problem if we're not very clear about what the game is, and we're kind of working on that now. So I think we need to be very clear on what the game is about. Uh, I think that lack of clarity could be a reason for players not buying our game.
Yeah,
But in terms of the game mechanics and uh, the art style, I think we're going in a very good direction.
that's good. Yeah.
Yeah,
To have the art direction be a specific way that you want, it
yeah,
shows the confidence that you believe in it. So,
yeah.
yeah.
I think the low poly art style that we're doing is very nice, and Lily's doing a great job making the assets. Uh, we don't have a lot of visual effects at the moment, but that's something we're not worrying too much about at this point.
Like going back to what you said about players not understanding what the game's about, I think that's going back to another point that you mentioned as well. Like people will tend to take about 2 minutes to try and comprehend what's going on, whether
Mm,
it's with
yeah,
something or someone.
yeah,
So, like, just having a game trailer not be understandable to players is very damaging to a game for sure.
exactly. Yeah.
So we have a few more questions left.
hmm
Sayed, how you feeling right now?
I'm very good. I'm very happy.
Also, yeah, I'm happy
Yeah.
too. You're enjoying the interview?
Oh, I'm loving it.
Awesome. I'm super glad. Like, this was a pleasure doing this, and I love it.
Same
So
here.
I'm very happy that not only you gave me 2 minutes, you gave me like an hour to do this interview with me, and I humbly appreciate your time.
Thank you.
So, is there any message you want to tell up and coming game developers?
When you're making your first game, no one knows about you, which means no one's going to invest in you. No publisher is going to make a deal with you. You're not an experienced game developer, so your first game would suck.
Yeah.
You don't know anything about marketing, so no one knows your game, no one buys your game. And once you publish your first game, you feel like a failure and you feel like this is not your thing. And you're gonna think that, okay, I wasted years of my life with no salary, I'm broke, I'm quitting. If you love game development and this is your life and this is something you want to do for the rest of your life, just bear in mind that the first game would not be successful, and you just have to keep at it. And hopefully at one point you would see that you're a great game developer.
Yeah.
It's just about being persistent and not giving up.
Don't give up. Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually this saying. So Schell is a game designer and he has a very good book. It's called The Art of Game Design. And in the preface of the book, he says there's a saying among game designers that your first 10 games will suck. So get them out of the way fast.
Okay.
And I think this is so true.
10 games, you said?
Yeah. He said 10 games, but
wow.
Doesn't have to be 10 games. But
yeah.
I think the point is your first few games would not be so good, but it doesn't mean that you're not a good game developer or a good game designer.
Yeah, you're right. First time the game's probably not going to be good. Sometimes developers do hit a home run and they become successful with the first game.
Yeah.
You never know.
Exactly.
If I was going to develop my first game, I think maybe what I would do is probably make it free to play.
Yeah.
So people can get introduced to me and to my company. And then I'll make the next game and hopefully it'll be much better by the time that I get to the second game, and then I can start charging and you never know. But that's just me.
Exactly.
That's just me. That's what I think. The book that you mentioned right now, it's called The Art of Game Design.
The Art of Game Design, and the author is Schell.
Jesse Schell.
He's the CEO of Schell Games.
So, like you're doing right now a sandbox RPG game. Let's say a couple years down the line, do you still want to make like this genre of making like an RPG game like this, or do you want to explore different territories when it comes to making games, or do you see yourself making mobile games or something like that in the future?
Yeah. I don't see myself making mobile games, if I have to be entirely honest with you. I would love to explore different genres, but there's this thing with making games that if you have made a game, you've spent a lot of time and money on making the tools and systems to make that game happen.
Okay.
If you want to make an entirely different game, you have to build entirely new systems and tools to make that different game. But if you want to make a sequel of that game, the development time would be like 1/3.
I see.
So that's why you see a lot of games just making sequels, because financially it makes a lot of sense, Like FIFA doesn't have to spend a lot of time,
Yeah.
They just change a bit, they sell the game for millions.
Or the latest Madden game. Every year they crank a new one out.
Exactly. Of course, there's this problem that it kind of kills creativity, because you can see that AAA games are not making like something innovative, You see that they're still making Far Cry 6.
Yeah.
And they still sell very well. But Far Cry 6 is not too different from Far Cry 5. It's essentially the same thing, but just improved.
Improved graphics, basically.
Yeah.
Different, more gameplay.
Yeah.
Story
exactly.
wise. Yeah.
Financially, it makes sense. And of course, as a huge business, like something like EA Games or Ubisoft, those are huge companies and they have crazy amount of costs, obviously.
Yeah.
It's very risky for them to try something new and spend like $200 million on it. And if it fails, the entire company may go broke. So they're
Yeah.
not willing to take that risk. But indie devs can make that risk, because
Interesting. Yeah.
they, yeah, they don't. That is actually why indie games are so innovative and different, because they have the capacity to take huge risks.
Yeah.
So I think there's this balance between the two, We want to make different games, but it's also about having that financial security to be able to just being sustainable. So maybe the next title would be a sequel, but the third game would be an entirely different things. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I actually want to make different games. Kind of depends on how things go. I mean, sequels are not necessarily a bad thing. Sequels can be really cool.
Oh, definitely not. There's definitely been sequels that have been incredible. Like,
Yeah.
for me, the Donkey Kong Country series is one of my favorites, and the sequels
Mm,
were just sublime. I loved
yeah.
Donkey Kong Country 2. Yeah,
It's just more content added. You don't
more
have
content.
to
Yeah,
create entirely new systems for the game.
very cool. Very, very cool. Do you see games like Super Mario Maker, which allows players to make their own levels? Do you think it's a new pathway for people to become game developers or be influenced to become one?
I certainly think yes. I mean, you see with Roblox, uh, you see that there are actually some studios who are Roblox developers. They make games on Roblox.
Okay.
Now, I'm assuming that your audience is mainly adults and they may not know about Roblox, but Roblox is a huge game for kids now. It's huge. They had an IPO a couple of months ago, and I think they raised like a couple of $1 billion. Uh,
Wow.
and the way Roblox works is you have games within the game. Uh, think of it as like Minecraft, but you can make games and other people can play that game. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh,
Many different types of games.
yeah, exactly. Different types of games.
How can we make learning about game development easier for people who really want to do it?
I certainly do not think that you need to have a university degree.
Okay.
I I mean, I did a PhD myself, but I understand that higher education can be a total waste of money and time.
Okay.
Uh, I'm not saying that that's always the case. In fact, higher education could be very helpful in getting you to experience a lot of different things and find your path, uh, and learn a lot of soft skills, and
Hmm.
just the way you think about the world. I think university can be very useful in that sense. But
Yeah.
I would say you don't go to university to learn technical things necessarily. It's more about the other things. Uh,
Okay.
One thing I find very useful are YouTube tutorials. I think they're the best resources out there. That's how most of our team has learned to make games. If we
Hmm.
get stuck on something, we go on YouTube, uh, and then we come back to the game and try it out. Now, the point is, there has to be a very fine balance between learning and experimenting. So you want to learn a bit, but come back and do it yourself, and
Right.
try a bit of your own. Go back, learn it, come back and do it a bit of your own. If you just watch YouTube videos without trying, you wouldn't learn. And
Hmm.
if you just do game development and being too arrogant to learn, you wouldn't learn. I would say it's this yin and yang of the two. Learn it, try it. Learn it, try it.
I think with YouTube, there's a lot of information about game development, and people are definitely searching those types of videos for sure. I think what I want to see in the future is I want people to try and like people who are very knowledgeable in development when it comes to games and all that. I would like to see them do like Zoom classes for like people who want
Mm,
to join,
yeah.
whether they decide to do it for free or paid. I think that's a neat idea because like yeah, someone can go on YouTube and look up how to do something, but then have troubles doing it themselves. So like if you have someone that's experienced like yourself, go on Zoom or like on Discord, whatever, and they're teaching people how to do it, and they're actually showing it with the webcam and everything. They show how to do this game designs and game development. That will be
That's
much
actually a
easier.
cool idea. Having someone experienced present makes a huge difference.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be the university experience. You know, you don't have to go get that degree, but just having someone right there in front of you, like show you the ropes.
Yeah, exactly.
So in Operation Outsmart, there's a bunch of koalas in your game. Why necessarily koalas?
We get that question a lot. So the first reason we came up with koalas was, so the idea of the game is that you're in this world with some animals who are going to help you to do things. And these animals are kind of intelligent and they can build tools. And that's where the sandbox mode really comes in, you know. Those koalas there have engineers, they have miners, smelters, you know, who are very civilized, and they know how to use these tools and make these tools. And obviously, an animal who can make tools and use tools is like it has to be an animal that has an opposable thumb, like we humans do, so we can grab things. And very interestingly, there aren't many animals that have opposable thumbs. Like monkeys and chimps are one.
Yeah.
But so are koalas.
Interesting.
So yeah, there aren't many of them. I think maybe only like 3 or 4 or 5. Yeah. And we thought that, well, monkeys are everywhere, so it's not gonna be too much fun. And we thought actually koalas are gonna be so cute and
nice, really cute in the game.
Yeah, and also at the time there was this forest fires in Australia, and there was a lot of news about like koalas being endangered by the fire.
Wow.
And being very much threatened to go extinct. And we thought this actually makes sense, because we also want this game to be like educational, impactful in some way, and bringing koalas could also raise awareness about protecting the wildlife, you know.
Like with that concept, it would be like a no-brainer if like a non-profit organization would come up to you and like, and you know, kind of like sponsor the idea, like one that's like an organization that protects the wildlife.
Yeah.
That could be something that could happen, maybe. You never know.
Yeah, we've actually had some talks with WWF Australia. I actually had some email exchanges this morning. It's not in the sense that they would sponsor, but we just want to see like if there's any way we could do some partnership kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, because they're actively engaged in protecting the koalas in Australia. So.
Okay. Would you consider doing something like whenever someone purchases your game, like a portion of the profits would go to the organization to help with the animals? Would you consider doing something like that?
We actually had this idea for the Kickstarter campaign, but then we realized that it's against the rules, because Kickstarter cannot be used for charity, and this kind of sits within that category. So we couldn't do it for the Kickstarter. But definitely for the actual release of the game, it is something that has been on our mind.
Very nice.
Even if it's just like a very small thing, I think.
Okay.
We kind of passionate about this, you know.
I can tell. I can really tell. I definitely believe in what you and your company Unifiq are doing right now, and I'm learning so much as we're talking. So,
thank you.
I'm on board. I am definitely on the hype train for Operation Outsmart.
Thank you, man.
All right, last question. What is your top 5 favorite games of all time? You got to be honest with me.
I will be very honest with you. So, first one will be Age of Empires. and I would just save the entire series. I think
Very nice.
one game for Age of Empires. Second game, which I have a lot of memories, is Counter-Strike 1.6. That's
Okay.
like a game I played a lot. Okay, I would say RuneScape was also something I kind of enjoyed. It was, yeah, I think RuneScape was also somehow influential on me.
Okay.
Uh, oh, okay. Need for Speed series, especially Need for Speed Most Wanted, was one of my favorite ones. I really loved that game. Yeah, I used to play like Need for Speed 2 when I was like 6 years old, and I think I played every one of them until Most Wanted. At which point I went to uni and I stopped playing games.
Okay.
So did I say 4 games? I have to pick the fifth one.
It's
I
got to be
think
5.
Worms was a very good game.
Worms? Worms Armageddon?
Yes,
Oh my
that one.
god, I love that game.
Yeah, that was a very good game.
I love that game so much. You just unlocked a childhood memory of mine.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one was a very good game.
yeah, the Worms series. The Worms series was
Yeah,
really great. Worms Armageddon.
yeah.
I think there was one on Dreamcast as well.
Mm.
Oh my god, such a good series. I think they actually released a new game as of late. So
Yeah, I think it's a 3D version of Worms.
yeah, might have to check that one out. Wow, nostalgia right now. Oh my god.
I know.
All right, everyone, give it up for Seyed. His game is called Operation Outsmart. Do you know what kind of platforms the game's going to be available on?
Yeah, so primarily on PC, and we are planning to port to console as well.
Okay.
Nintendo Switch for sure. That's like we're definitely gonna do.
Okay.
And depending on our budget and like our capacity, also porting to PlayStation and Xbox.
Okay, that is awesome. Yeah, like a lot of the okay, I've only interviewed about like 2 indie game developers as of right now. They all tell me like, yeah, I got to do it on the Nintendo Switch. Like it's a priority at this point because like,
yeah, it is.
the fan base is huge.
Yeah, it is. A lot of Nintendo Switch players play indie games. That's what makes it really attractive to indie developers.
Yeah, because like when I go in the eShop and I'm looking at games and stuff, I don't really look at the AAA titles. I mean, I do.
Yeah.
I tend to see if there's any deals, of course, but like then I go to the indie games and I'm like, okay, what kind of games can I see myself playing on this console, and take it on the go as well. And I also like another part is I look at the prices, the sales, and everything. So I mean, if you have an indie game and it's on sale, I'm looking at it already for sure. Do you have like any way people could find you on social media? Any links I could post in the description?
Yeah, I mean we're very open with anyone wanting to contact us. So if you go on our website, which is unifiq.com, there's my email address there in the footer, so you could just drop an email. You could find me on LinkedIn. My name is Seyed Nasrullahi. Or you could just search for Unifiq Games and you see me in the team. And just feel free to connect with me, send me a message. On Twitter, we also have our message open, so even if we're not following you and you're not following us, you can still message us.
Okay.
Yeah, we're kind of accessible in any way. And also our Discord is there. You could find the link to our Discord both on our website and on our Twitter account in the bio. So if you join our Discord, you can see the entire team there and you can chat with any one of us.
All right. I will definitely provide the social media links in the description below of the video. And, if anybody wants to reach out to Unifiq Games or talk to Seyed or ask questions about Operation Outsmart, feedback is always important, and they definitely will appreciate the feedback. Like whatever you have to say,
Yes.
Feedback is super important for them.
Exactly. That's what we want.
My name is SpiritBuddy. Today we got to know Seyed a little bit more. How do you feel about all this right now?
Very good. I had a great time.
Me too. I also enjoyed this.
Yeah,
I
we've
love doing
been
this.
talking uh, a bit less than 2 hours, and I didn't even notice that.
Wow, really? So,
Yeah,
so you know it was a good time.
yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah, I want to thank you for this experience. Like, I really
Thanks to
enjoyed
you
it.
for the opportunity.
Every single one of the indie game developers that I've interviewed so far, including yourself, like I've had a good time. Like, it's just really great to know what you guys are thinking about, and it was just such a great experience.
This
So,
is because you're a great guy yourself. So,
oh, thank you so much. I'm gonna cry right now again. You're gonna make me cry on video. Ah. Make sure to stay up to date with Operation Outsmart's development. Is there going to be a demo coming out soon so people can try it out?
yes, yes. So the demo is complete. I'm actually doing the Steam page. I was doing it today. So hopefully it would get approved in the next few days, and you would be able to play the demo. I guess from next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the demo is going to come out on Steam very soon, hopefully.
Yes.
And people will be able to wishlist it and check out the
Absolutely.
trailer and all that.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any last thing you want to say before we end the video?
Yeah. I would like to thank the audience for their time in listening to me. But that's a very valuable time, and I hope I haven't wasted your time. And if you're aspiring indie dev, uh, follow your passion.
Yeah. Like keep going,
Yeah,
and don't give up.
exactly.
Because everybody's capable of doing what they want to do. Like
Yeah,
you're capable of achieving your dreams.
exactly.
Very nice. Very inspirational. Very, very nice. Well, thank you all for tuning in. I will see you all on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.